Hi guys, we are meeting after a long time. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 different types of diet and what are the pros and cons of each diet. Some of them are fad diets, some of them are celebrity approved diets, and one of these diets is the diet that I followed to lose 20 kgs of weight and shared all this knowledge with you on this channel over the past year. If you want to continue watching such videos on diet and weight loss and exercise ideas, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. Watch this video till the end to know which diet I suggest and I followed. So the first diet, the most famous diet followed by a lot of celebrities, which is discussed widely over the internet, and which is, I hear every third person following this these days, that is IF or intermittent fasting. Now in this type of diet, one is allowed to eat in a certain time window, like suppose 12 noon to 8 p.m. and is supposed to fast the other half of the day. So let's look at the pros and cons of these diets. So first let's talk about the pros. Intermittent fasting helps in faster weight loss. Yes, it does. It helps lower your BP and diabetes, type 2 diabetes to some extent. Also, as claimed by a lot of healthcare professionals and medical professionals, it helps in some kind of detoxification of liver and detoxification of organs, which is mostly helpful for alcoholics or drug addicts or people of the same kind. Now let's talk about the cons. The cons of this diet are it leads to severe hormonal imbalance. It is a strict no for patients of PCOD and thyroid. It also leads to dehydration, of appetite, lethargy, mood swings, tiredness throughout the day. It leads to headache, nausea, vomiting and acidity in some cases. And I'm sure if I try this diet for 2 to 3 days, my acidity is going to bounce back. So to conclude, this diet works because it ultimately limits the number of calories you consume, thereby putting your body in calorie deficit, which is the baseline of losing weight. But because of the cons but because of not being possible to eat in a certain time window throughout your lifetime, this diet is unsustainable and is not suggested. Also, generally people following this diet stick to early dinners, which also promotes weight loss. So all in all, this diet is not sustainable. The next diet is Atkins or Keto Diet, which is mostly based on the same principles and mostly similar. In this diet, you are allowed to have very less carbohydrates and draw your energy from proteins and fats. You are only allowed to have 50 grams of carbohydrates per day, which means the amount of carbohydrates in one apple. Imagine just having one apple in a whole day. So the science behind this kind of diet is the reduction of carbs in your diet puts your body into a metabolic state known as ketosis. Body learns to burn fat in the form of ketones, thereby the name keto diet. Now, science apart, let's learn about the pros and cons of this diet. Before I tell that, can you imagine having only rajma without the chawal, having only sambar without the dosa, and having your favorite chicken curry without the roti? Can you live like this forever? I'm sure you can't. Now let's go and check the pros and cons. So the pros are, it is tasty because you are allowed to have a lot of meat, a lot of non-veg, a lot of protein sources and fat sources like cheese, cream and the likes. It has also been proven scientifically. It helps patients of epilepsy recover from their disease to some extent. So it is specifically intended for people with such kind of disorders, whereas the list of cons are many. Now, eating a lot of meat, lot of fatty food does play an effect on your digestive system. It leads to constipation, acidity and much more. even training your body to be in a state which is not very natural can lead to kidney stones. People following these diets have been insomniac for a long period of time, have faced sleep issues, lot of hormonal imbalance and diseases like fatty liver. And having said all this diet is a complete no-no and it is completely unsustainable. Now the third diet here is GM diet. I had personally tried this diet before I got married, and let me tell you, the results were disastrous. Now in this kind of diet, this diet promises that you can lose 6 to 7 kgs a week, which meant I could lose 20 kgs in only 3 to 4 weeks. So why not? So what is the basic principle of this diet is to consume like for 7 days you have to consume certain foods on a certain day. Like for day 1 you have to consume fruits, for day 2 vegetables, for day 3 some tomatoes, 1 day for potatoes, 1 day some brown rice, 1 day for bananas, and so on. Now I cannot see any pros in this diet apart from the fact that it puts your body in calorie deficit for 7 days, but it is not only unsustainable, it is unreal as well. So the cons are much more. This has absolutely no nutrient value. This is one of the fad diets or yo-yo diet which should be avoided at any cost. Now the fourth diet is vegan diet, which is a very powerful diet. Veganism is a way of life where people choose to avoid any form of animal products, whether in food or in their lifestyle, like leather products, like milk, like curd, like cheese, or like eggs, or any animal product, meat. And it is slightly different from vegetarianism because it also completely avoids use of dairy products. This is a powerful diet and followed by many celebrities including our very own Virat Kohli. So this is a powerful form of eating where the amount of calories is naturally reduced by boycotting dairy, non-veg and a lot of things from your diet, thereby putting you on a calorie deficit. Talking about the pros of this diet is that it controls blood sugar level, naturally makes your heart healthy as you avoid a lot of fatty components, dairy, meat from your diet, and it also improves kidney functions. It indeed is a powerful diet, but as with every diet, there are some cons to this diet as well. Like it is very expensive to maintain this diet, and it is a little bit difficult for layman like you and me because we are not Virat Kohli. Mostly people following these diets are seen to be vitamin D and vitamin B12 deficient and needs those supplements. Also, it is slightly difficult to rely on plant protein sources to get all the protein requirement for our body. But overall, it is a way of life and it is up to you if you choose a vegan diet or not. Now the fifth diet is LCD or low carb diet. Now a typical low carb diet doesn't have a very wide definition. It just means to focus on eating more protein, more vegetables than carbs, and limit or reduce the amount of carbohydrates that we consume on a daily basis. It also minimizes the consumption of high carb items like sugar, too much of sugar, too much of junk food, sugary drinks, and things which cause a sudden spike in our blood sugar levels. So overall you are not avoiding any major nutrient group from your diet. It is overall a balanced diet. Now coming to the pros and cons. The pros are many because it is tasty, it is sustainable, you do not have to cut down your taste buds, indulgence is also allowed on some days, and healthy and does not cause any nutrient deficiency. Whereas on the cons, it may lead to constipation in some cases, and overdoing this diet, like completely eliminating carbs or eating too little carbs than what is intended, might lead to health issues. Now this is the diet that I had followed when I was on a journey to lose 20 kgs of weight. So I reduced the amount of carbohydrates that I consumed daily and saw results. I have made a complete detailed video on this, on what I eat in a day, so many videos on this, and how I smartly reduced my carbs quantity in my plate. Like for example, I ate 2 rotis and a curry, which I reduced to 1 roti, a curry and a serving of salad. So the quantity of food remains the same and the nutrient profile just differs a bit. I hope by the end of this video you are aware of which diet you want to choose and how you can avoid fad diets. I hope this video and this information has surely helped you. If it has, please give me a thumbs up button, because it encourages me to come up with more content like this. If you know someone with whom you can share this information and which this can benefit them, please go and share, and also follow me on Instagram at FitTechieMom.